Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check. Can you talk, Brad?
Check, check, check.
Okay.
Check. Just point at me when you're ready to go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Corry Area High School for our first spring sports event of the year. Brad Swanson, John Yatsko, and Derek Yatsko here bringing you all the action on the Corry Journal live stream. We have Meadville in town today. The Lady Bulldogs come in to face the Lady Beavers. And it's a chilly day here at Corry High School. A lot going on, though. There's a track meet, boys and girls, going on right now as well. So it's just great to be outside, even if it is a little chilly.
Yeah, back here in the mud pit. I forgot how muddy it can be over on this side of the field. You don't get a lot of sun over here. It's kind of deceiving. It looked much warmer when I was driving over here and the sun was out, but once you came around here in the shade, it is cool. And of course, you know, you can never get away from there being a little breeze up here. It always seems like it's a little breezy here, but it's a nice day. Happy to be out for spring sports finally getting going. I wasn't sure if we would ever get going with the winter we had, so only one postponement from yesterday, and girls, I think there was a scrimmage yesterday, maybe.
The boys, the girls had a scrimmage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the boys baseball game
right?
got postponed until today, but I don't know if they're playing that today.
Yeah,
They are
playing today. Yeah,
Okay,
I was
good.
surprised. I really was surprised.
Well, hats off to Larry for all he does down there to get that field in shape because, I mean, like you said, it was a long, hard winter. We need to jump ahead here real quick before we get going, John, and it just is going to be very strange this season not seeing RL on the sidelines. Unfortunately, if any of you out there didn't know, RL McCrae, our longtime sports editor at the Corry Journal, passed away, and he's truly going to be missed. Just seeing him, he was pretty much everywhere. You might see him in Clymer, you might see him in Union City, and you always saw him here at Corry events. Just a lot of good times over the years with RL. We've bantered back and forth with him quite a bit, you and I, in baseball games and softball games, and I traveled with RL during the postseason matchups quite often. We'd get together and we would do the road trips to the away games, and had a lot of fun with it. And he's truly going to be missed.
Yeah, I really haven't processed that yet. I felt like I needed to write something, you know, in eulogizing him, and I really haven't been able to process that yet. As being a transplant, you know, from Corry, I didn't grow up here. RL was always great to me and my family. He would always take extra pictures of the games if they didn't go into the paper and send them to me. Of the kids, and he was just, you know, fun to be around. He knew everything about sports. I'd always message him, you know, and to be like, hey, when's the last time this happened, or when's the last time that happened, because he was really an encyclopedia of Corry sports.
He was a walking encyclopedia. You nailed it right there. Yeah, he was a lot of fun, and he bantered back and forth, and I'm sure that our home plate umpire today, Mr. Bernie Fitch, and RL, they had a lot of fun together. In fact, they used to go for a burger and a beer at Tamarack Tavern after the ball games quite often. So,
Yeah, that's the other thing about RL is he wasn't just big in Corry sports. He was big in Erie County sports. Everybody knew him. You know, you go to any event and he's always talking to the other reporters or other ADs or officials, coaches, players, you name it. He was friendly with everybody.
right. He actually worked for the Erie Times a little bit and for the Warren Times Observer as well. Something some people may not know is RL is in the Wrestling Writers Hall of Fame for the state of Pennsylvania. He did an outstanding job. Well, like I said, rest in peace, Mr. McRae, and we're going to keep pushing on like you'd want us to do. So
I knew he was a big Saints fan for the NFL.
Right.
What was his baseball team?
The Pirates.
Okay.
Yes. He was a big Roberto Clemente fan. Every once in a while you see him sporting his number 21 Roberto Clemente T-shirt with the three-quarter sleeves like the 1960s.
Okay, cool.
And, which in the
I
60s
wondered,
RL was probably playing Little League.
I think I will.
Early
I'm a
60s.
Phillies fan, but I think I'll purchase a Pirates hat to wear this season in honor of RL to the softball and baseball games.
Well, we're going over the ground rules right now.
Yeah, a lot of rules, it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty simple field here. Everything is fenced in. There's no gaps. You don't have any weirdness. This is a great field, great facility. Pretty, level. Like I said, the fences go all the way down. You've been to some, I'm not as familiar with softball fields, but you go to some baseball fields and they're real doozies. It's like if it goes out into the cow pasture in the air, it's a home run, or watch out for the groundhog hole, kind of thing. No fences or out of bounds because the fence only goes down to first base. But here it's pretty cut and dry.
Yes. Yep. It's and speaking of dry, the field is turf, so it's definitely the right place to play, especially this time of year.
Yeah, that's a great investment. I really wish they would do something similar for baseball. You're starting to see a lot of baseball fields in Erie County become turf. Seneca, they have one out there. I think if they play some games up at Mercyhurst.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if McDowell put something in since they redid their field over there or not, but
I'm surprised Prep doesn't have something up there at the event center. Because I think they don't have enough room other than the football field and track out there, right?
Right. Yeah, I wish when we would have redone the football field, I've always talked about that they would have put the baseball field with the football field, kind of like they have at Gannon. But, it didn't happen. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Right.
So looking at the roster here, looks like it's a young team this year.
Very young team, very young. We'll throw out the starting lineups here real quick. I'll give you the Meadville lineup here. First, starting things off for Meadville will be the shortstop, number 55, Abby Kragel. She'll be followed by the pitcher, number 5, Lila Keitlinger. Batting third and catching today for Meadville is number 26, Olivia Carpin. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 27, Grace Curtis. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 17, Nicole Shoemaker. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 7, Paisley Sanford. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 62, Abby Chapp. Batting eighth, the designated player, Sophia Pierce. She's number 2. And the right fielder, batting ninth, is number 20, Megan Redding. We do have a flex player for the DP. Sophia Pierce will bat for second baseman Carolyn Cassell. So here's the new faces for these Lady Beavers. Leading things off is a starter from last year, second baseman number 10, Sid Minio. Batting second, sophomore number 7. Excuse me, I believe Jazzy's a junior.
Freshman, sophomore.
Is she a sophomore?
Yes.
Okay. Jazzy Bridgham is a sophomore, number 14, batting second and playing left field. Batting third is senior, number 9, Mara Goodwill, out in center field. Batting cleanup, playing third base today, number 16, Ava Taylor. Batting fifth And playing shortstop, number 4, Allison Yetzer. And Allison, as you remember last year, was a catcher. Batting 6th and playing first base, Reagan Kemp. Number 21, batting 7th, doing the catching. Number 6, Rachel Motes. Batting 8th, the pitcher. Number 17, Braylon Gertie. And batting 9th and playing right field, number 22, junior Molly Irwin.
Yeah, did you like how I had to count on my fingers? Freshman, sophomore, junior. This.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if my math is right, was it 4 seniors? 3 or 4 seniors? I couldn't remember. I looked at the roster earlier where they had their graduation year next to it.
Yeah. Sydney Minio is a senior. Mara Goodwill is a senior. There might be a couple that are not in the starting lineup because those are the only 2 that I'm sure of that are seniors.
Okay.
Maybe one of the other girls is, but I'm thinking that they're mostly juniors and sophomores. Here we go. We're ready for the first pitch of the new season here, John.
Yeah, and my favorite thing when it's softball season is the coat count. So we got two players in coats already. I would say that doubles before the game ends.
Right. It'll be tough to tell who's who then, other than the scorebook. I better keep a good scorebook today. Gertie in the circle takes a look at her wristband to see what the pitch is going to be. There's a ball hit right back up the middle for a single, so 1 pitch and 1 hit for Meadville. As Kriegel just pokes it right back where it came from, right back up the middle.
It's one way to get the season started.
Batting 1,000 on it already. Now coming to bat for the Lady Bulldogs is the pitcher, number 5, Lila Keitlinger. Gertie toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. That one's popped straight up. Motes underneath it. Makes the catch. And that one was kind of maybe a little wind drifting with it. But a great catch in fair territory. And a good concentration effort right there by Rachel Motes.
That's one of the hardest ones you can have as a catcher that's pretty much just straight up and it started drifting into fair territory.
One out. There's a big swing and a miss. So Gertie's throwing strikes. Like to see that.
Yeah, Meadville looking to capitalize early here, being aggressive, swinging at first pitches.
Olivia Carpin, the catcher, awaits the 0-1 pitch from Gertie. That one sails high, counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike. So we're going to see a little mix here this year with pitching because we have a lefty that will be coming in too, and that is Macy Kemp. Gertie looks in. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, when I looked at the roster, I know it's early in the season and sometimes those things don't get updated, but there weren't a lot of pitchers listed on there.
Right. Yeah, times are changing. It used to be there'd be 4 pitchers on a team. 1-2 pitch from Gertie. That one sails high. Count goes to 2-2. Gertie checking the wristband. 2-2 pitch. There's a shot out to left field. That one's bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. So the runner will have to hold at third. That was a line drive and it was hit hard. So 1 away, runners at second and third. Meadville threatening here in the top of the first inning. And the cleanup hitter, first baseman Grace Curtis, going to step in. Gertie looks at the pitch call. Here's the pitch. That one's low, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Gertie very deliberate. Fires the next pitch. That one swung on a miss, strike one. One ball, one strike to count. Are my eyes playing tricks with me, John, or is there only one umpire today?
I only see one umpire.
Wow. Bernie Fitch doing it by himself. Here's a ground ball, back up the middle. One run's going to score. Good throw by Mara Goodwill to hold the runner at third base, but it's 1-0 Meadville here in the top of the first inning with 3 hits already, John.
Yeah, like I said, Meadville being aggressive up there, really swinging the bats.
Center fielder Nicole Shoemaker steps in. Runners at first and third, still only one out. Gertie fires that one high. Runner goes down to second, uncontested. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Beavers need an out here. Lady Beavers, excuse me. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up. Shallow right field. It's going to drop. Another run scores. Make it 2-0, and runners at third base. And Allison Williams wants to call timeout.
That ball looked like it was going to be trouble right off the bat. It actually carried a little further than I thought, but that one was in no man's land there. Outfield playing pretty deep, I think, because of the power that they already saw from Meadville, and it just kind of fell in there. Runners at the corners here again.
Yeah, you can't really play too shallow. And like you said, the wind's always blowing here, so it's usually blowing out from home plate. Here we go as third baseman Paisley Stanford steps in. She shows bunt. Takes it for a ball. Runner moves down to second base. That was a design steal all the way. Stanford steps back in. Gertie fires the pitch up high. Count goes 2-0. Oh, he called the first one a strike, I guess. At least the scoreboard's saying that. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Gertie challenged her upstairs and blew it by her.
Second call for the girls and boys 100.
You can hear the track meet going on as we're doing this game.
Boys 100 and 110 to go.
Here's the pitch from Gertie. Swung and a miss. Strike 3. Big strikeout right there. 2 away. And Lady Beavers got to see if they can get out of here without these 2 on base scoring. You have left fielder Addie Chap, coming to the plate. Here's the pitch from Gertie. That one's called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. And must be some movement on that ball, John, because it looked like the batter missed that. Swung underneath that quite a bit. Kind of hard to tell from our vantage point whether she's throwing risers or drops. Or that one's foul down the third base line. Chap steps back in.
Crew, please help.
Here's the pitch from Gertie. Here's the ball hit the left field. And getting underneath that one is Jazzy Bridgham. She makes the catch for out number 3. So there were 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. Played a half inning here at Corry High School. Our score, Meadville 2, Corry coming to bat.
One up from the bottom. On the yellow and one notch up from the bottom, please.
Well, we got a full week of spring sports here. Tomorrow we'll be at baseball. Thursday we'll be back here. And Friday we'll have baseball.
Yes. May as well jump right into it, right?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get a... it looks like we're going to get a few days that are going to be a little warmer this week.
Yeah, I usually at this time of the year just kind of wait and see what it's like, by noon.
Yes.
You never know. I mean, it was I think my temperature at home said it was about 17 this morning or something. So quite chilly. I didn't realize it was going to be that cold. Good thing I brought a coat. I knew that you'd have a hat.
Yes.
I
bald
wondered
guys.
if you'd have gloves or not today, too.
I do have.
Yeah,
I do have gloves. Yeah. Yeah. I told Coach Williams, Kevin Williams, when I was getting the lineup, I said, people are going to look over and laugh at the way I'm dressed until about the 3rd inning, and he started laughing. He said, "You're right."
Yeah, that's like when you said, "Do you want a chair?" I can't sit when it's this cold.
Right.
I'll just
Yeah.
instantly be frozen.
Mm-hmm. I could sit, but it'd probably take about 4 people to get me up out of the chair when the game was over. Okay. So it looks as though Miss Keitlinger has finished her warm-up tosses, and we are ready for action. Bottom of the 1st inning. The first 3 batters for Corry will be Sydney Minio. She'll be followed by Jazzy Bridgham and then Mara Goodwill. Sounds like some hits and runs right there. Let's see how the Corry girls do. Keitlinger looks in. First pitch is a ball. Minio gets set. Here's the pitch from Keitlinger. There's a shot out into right field. That's going to get to the wall. Sid Minio on her horse down to second base. And she starts things off with a stand-up double. So might see a scoring ball game today, John. Sydney ripped that ball. She just went with a pitch and drove it into right field.
Yeah, nice shot in the gap there.
That'll bring up Jazzy Bridgham. Jazzy, a left-hander, steps in, and Keitlinger looks at her wristband, has the pitch. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, runner at second. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. The ball's in 2 strikes to count. Keitlinger fires the next one. That one's fouled off. Count remains 0-2. Here's the next pitch. That one's fouled back out of play. Looks like Jazzy's starting to see the ball a little better here. Keitlinger winds and delivers. That one's popped foul out of play. Bridgham steps back in. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Minio heading to third. She's there safely. Good job by Sydney Minio. Keitlinger fires the next pitch. That one's fouled back. Bridgham battling here. Sun's trying to come out, John. I don't think we're going to see it over here, but we are tucked in by the on the first base side. That pitch is up high.
Nice job working the count back to 2-2.
She's a battler. Keitlinger fires the 2-2. That one's fouled back out of play. Jazzy wasting some good pitches here. Two-two pitch once again from Keitlinger to Bridgham. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got her on some off-speed stuff there. One away, and that'll bring up Mara Goodwill. Mara steps in with Sydney Minio down at third base. One out. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by her Goodwill. Strike 1. She's got a quick bat. Goodwill steps back in. Keitlinger fires that one inside, gets by the catcher, and Sydney Minio comes in from third base on the pass ball. It's now a 2-1 ball game. Goodwill gets set. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Two and one to count. Keitlinger fires the next pitch. That one's up high. 3-1 now the count. That one's inside, ball 4. Mara Goodwill draws the base on balls. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ava Taylor. Ava's the third baseman for the Lady Beavers today. There's a fly ball out to center field. Center fielder having trouble. That one gets over her head. And Mara Goodwill had to hold up, so she just was only able to make it to second base. There's a good example of the wind. You get it up in the jet stream like that, and it moves around a little bit.
I think that one might have got up in the sun there, too.
Right? Okay, that'll bring up shortstop Allison Yetzer. Allie takes it low, ball one. Both runners move up on the wild pitch.
Hurdle helpers, if you can move the hurdles to the blue lines and up to.
Yetzer steps back in.
The blue line closer to the starting line. So you need to move your.
Here's the 1-0 pitch.
line of hurdles toward the starting line.
Foul back off the screen. Count even now at 1-1. One pitch. Ball ripped down the third baseline, foul. 1-2 now the count. Is it just because it's cold out, or does it seem like the softball game is a lot slower than softball games normally are? Pitchers are a little more deliberate.
First game of the season, too, you know.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. She held up. Took it upstairs for ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Runners at second and third. Corry trailing 2-1. Bottom of the first inning here at Corry High School. There's a shot out into center field. That one's going to get to the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Yetzer digging hard. She's going to stop at second base with a stand-up double. Allison Yetzer ripped that one. Lady Beavers take the lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up first baseman Reagan Kemp. As I look at this lineup, there's no easy out on the Corry Lady Beavers lineup, that's for sure. Some good sticks there. Kemp steps in. Keitlinger fires the first pitch, called strike one. Reagan has some good power to the right side, to like right center. She takes the next pitch inside. Count goes to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second base, that's Allison Yetzer. And we've got a base umpire just showed up. I bet you Bernie's feeling a little better about
maybe
that.
He thought it started at 4:30. It's 4:29.
Uh-huh. It's a softball, not baseball.
Right.
Baseball games start at 4:30, which I don't get that. What is the reasoning there? Do you know?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out, too, when I was putting the schedule together. I mean, for us, we could start a little later for baseball because we have lights.
Right.
But
it's kind of odd. You would think that a baseball game is a longer game, and it would maybe the baseball would start earlier than softball game. But
First call, girls and boys, 400-meter run.
Reagan Kemp steps back in. Keitlinger fires the pitch. That one's fouled into the bleachers. Here's the next pitch from Keitlinger. That ball's hit right to the second baseman. She fires back over to shortstop covering second, and Yetzer gets back in time. So 2 outs on the L4. That will bring up the catcher, Rachel Moats. Rachel is the 7th batter to come to the plate for the Lady Beavers here in the bottom of the first. Lady Beavers lead 3-2. First pitch called strike one. There's a shot up the middle. Rachel Moats delivers with an RBI single, as coming around to score from second base is Allison Yetzer, making the score now 4-2 in favor of the Lady Beavers. Nice hard hit ball by Rachel Moats. That's going to bring up the pitcher, number 17, Braylon Gertie. Gertie takes the first pitch for a strike. Keitlinger looks in. Here's the next pitch. That one's hit into fair territory and bounced back out foul. No balls, 2 strikes to count as Gertie steps back in. Molly Irwin waits on deck. There's a ball hit out into right field, going to drop for a base hit, gets by the right fielder. And we're going to have another run score, see where Gertie gets. She's going to go over to third. It's now 5-2 as Rachel Moats comes in around to score from first base on that shot. Molly Irwin steps in. 2 outs, runner at third base. Molly, left-handed hitter. Takes first pitch low, ball 1. Keitlinger looks in. There's a shot down the third base line. That was a base hit. Another run's going to score, and Molly Irwin comes through with an RBI single. Lady Beavers seeing the ball well today, John. 6-2 the score here, and we're in the first inning. Batted around. We're going all the way back to the top of the order. Sydney Minio coming back to bat again. Wild pitch allows Molly Irwin to go down to second base.
When it's these chillier first games, I'm never going to complain about, getting up by 10 and maybe ending the game a little early.
Right, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. The Meadville coach asked for timeout. He's going to go out and chat with his pitcher. That's going to give me just enough time to put my gloves on, I think.
Girls 400 meter runners to the starting line, please. Third final call, boys and girls javelin. Third final call.
Getting the action started back here.
Okay. Warming myself up a little, John. There's a ball hit to third base, and it's popped up, caught at third for out number 3. So that'll do it for the Lady Beavers in the first inning, not before they push across 6 runs. They did that on seven hits. Were no errors, and there was one left on base. We head to the top of the second inning. Our score now, Corry 6, Meadville 2.
I wondered how your microphone wasn't picking up quite as much wind as mine. I like to wear my microphone on the right side. I noticed yours was on the left and not picking up as much wind. So there, I flipped mine around a little bit. Maybe that'll make it a little better for those people watching.
Yes.
It's always that little bit of constant wind up here. It seems like that just in the spring, too, because I don't notice as much during football season.
Right. And even once we get to ball games in May, it's not too bad usually.
I wondered. I thought for a second there they had to score 7-2, and I was like, how did I miss a run? But it looks like they took one back off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm keeping a pretty good book here.
Yeah, I thought I was paying attention, too. Second inning here. Corry leading 6-2.
Due up for the Lady Bulldogs will be the designated player Sophie Pierce, and she'll be followed by Megan Redding, and then the top of the order. First pitch is a called strike. It's always a little easier on a pitcher when you get a little bit of a cushion out there too. Gertie fires the pitch. That one swung on a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, I always say spring sports is hard. You know, you spend a lot of time inside. Girls at least, they have the softball field. Boys spend a lot of time practicing not on the baseball field. So you don't know exactly what you're going to get until you get out here and play the first game.
Right. Change up. Misses high.
So when Meadville gets out here and jumps to a quick 2-0 lead, I think that kind of gets you fired up a little bit, a little excited. So, probably settles the pitcher down a little bit to get a nice 4-run lead.
Here's the pitch. That one misses away. 2-2 now the count. Gertie taking a minute to look at that wristband with all the pitches on it. Here's the pitch. And this is low. Count goes to full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Gertie. Called strike 3. Big out right there. And I don't know about you, John, but I always like to, on a caught looking, I like to put the backward K in there. That'll bring up Megan Redding, the right fielder. Redding steps in for the first time today. Takes first pitch, called strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Called strike 2. Little change up there. Gertie working ahead here, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Up high, ball 1. Trying to get her to chase something.
I see what you need across the field there. It looks like somebody's in a bubble.
Ah, nice. Yeah, those are pretty nice, aren't they?
Yeah. Put a little heater in there.
I thought about bringing my blind down and setting it up. My deer blind. I have a 2-man deer blind.
I'm not getting in with you, though.
But we'd have to sit in that. That would be the bad thing. Another strikeout.
Yeah, got her
for
swinging
Gertie.
on that one. Making quick work of the first 2.
Like I said, it's easier to settle in when you get a little bit of a lead. So this is going to bring up the top of the order Abby Kegel, who started the game with a single up the middle on the very first pitch.
That first one was low for a ball.
Gertie fires the next one. That one's hit down to third, foul. 1-1 the count. Well, you said, John, that you figured that we'll be seeing more jackets from the Corry girls, and we're still at 2, right?
Yeah, the sun came out, though.
Yeah,
That helps. They're in the sun.
That does help. There's a shot to short. Yetzer up with it, fires across in time for out number 3.
Nice play.
Beautiful play by both Yetzer and first baseman Reagan Kemp with the good stretch over there. 6-3 on the putout, and that'll do it for Meadville in the second inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Our score remains Corry 6, Meadville 2.
Yeah, I noticed, like you said about Allison moving to shortstop, when I looked at the roster, I noticed that she wasn't listed as catcher. But again, like I said, sometimes those things don't get fully updated, or it's early in the season, and things change. But
right.
A lot of these young ladies have probably played a lot of different positions over the years. Talked about this before, especially in baseball. You see, most of your guys that are pretty decent players, average or above, a lot of them play the infield, right?
Right.
And then you get all these guys that played the infield their whole lives, and then they come out and play school baseball, and now you got nobody that ever played the outfield in their life. You know what I mean? That's not an easy transition either, to go from one to the other. So
no, it's not. And people think the outfield is an easy spot, but it's a little tricky, especially here at this field and at the ballpark at Columbus. We were notorious for windy fields.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover out there, and you don't have a lot of backup, But yeah, we I tried to tell my kids, you're playing you start to get to be 13 and up, you got a lot of opportunities to play a lot of different leagues and things, Legion and juniors. I said at least some of these games, ask your coach to stick you out in the outfield, because if you plan on playing high school baseball, maybe the same thing with high school softball, you might end up in the outfield if you're younger,
right.
And then you move into the infield or different positions.
Right. You might be a very good ball player at second base, but you're playing behind a guy that's got 2 years experience on you, so why not try it? There's a rip out into center field, and Jazzy Bridgham has herself a base hit. Jazzy starts off the bottom of the second inning where the Lady Beavers left off in the first. Hit the ball hard.
Well, she figured she fouled off enough of them the first at bat, so.
Yeah, she got quite a bit of time in at that at bat, didn't she?
Yeah, I didn't count the pitches on that one, but it had to be about a 12-pitch at bat.
I would say it was pretty close. Mara Goodwill swings and fouls off the first pitch. We talk a little bit about how quick of a bat Mara Goodwill has. My memory serves me correctly, she may have hit a home run in 9th grade. I know she hit at least 1 or 2 in 10th. And then last year she had a couple. Big swing and a miss there. But she didn't catch up to that one. Goodwill steps back in. Keitlinger checks her wristband for the sign. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left field way up in the air and caught by the left fielder. Good catch out in left field there. F7, 1 away.
Notice she had the sunglasses on out there.
Yes.
That the sun is poked out.
Ava Taylor going to step in now. Ava's the third baseman for the Lady Beavers. She swings and misses at the first one, strike one. Ava had a single and scored back in the first. Keitlinger fires it in. Foul ball over our way, John. That one goes off of the top of the press box, then into the bleachers. Makes a lot of noise, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like thunder. I was hoping Derek was going to jump over here and save us from that one if it was coming this way.
Yeah, you're in charge of foul balls, Derek. Heading our way. There's a shot right at the shortstop. She fires it back in time for the double play. Good play by Meadville shortstop. L6 and a 6-3 for the double play. That'll do it for the Lady Beavers. There were no runs. There was a hit. No errors and nobody left on base. We head to the top of the third inning. Our score remains Corry 6, Meadville 2.
Well, a pretty exciting first inning there, and then a pretty quick, uneventful second inning. 2 quick 3 up and 3 down.
Yes. Due up for Meadville will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Keitlinger, Karpin, and Curtis. If you were to look at the sky, John, it looks like it's a nice 60-degree day, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it was only 40 when I got out of the car.
Yes. Yep. I figure by 6 o'clock we're heading the other direction.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not
Temperatures will drop.
snowing again. You know.
Right.
Look outside at work yesterday. I'm like, really?
Yeah, at times it picked up and it was snowing pretty good.
I
too.
know.
Okay, here we go as Keitlinger, the Meadville pitcher, steps in. Gertie fires the first pitch. Called strike one. No balls, 1 strike. We're in the top of the third. Corry leading 6-2. Oh, 1 misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. One pitch. That one's fouled off over by us.
Derek,
Didn't quite make it to us.
you're just looking at that one. That was close. That was real close. He said he's too cold.
He's not going to put his hand out there. That wouldn't feel too good. There's a ball smacked down the third base line. Foul. Keitlinger turned on that one pretty good. Got a lot of the meat of the bat on that one. I guess I use old terminology, don't I? She got the barrel of the bat on that one. How's that? Gertie, taking her time, looks in. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled back out of play. I think Gertie's doing a good job mixing the speed, and then she has obviously has a few different pitches she throws. Gertie toes the rubber. Keitlinger hits that one to center field. Mara Goodball, Molly Irwin, and that one was a weird play because when she slides into second with a double, when the ball came off the bat, it looked like it was going right straight to center field, and it just drifted into the gap in between Goodwill and
Yeah, I think that one
Irwin.
kind of died out too. I thought it was going further back than it actually did.
So give Keitlinger the leadoff double. That'll bring up Karpin. Karpin had a double and
Courtesy runner for the pitcher. Is
Okay.
that?
Karpin had the ground roll double back in the first inning. Bounced it over the left center field fence. Home plate umpire Bernie Fitch making sure that both teams have the change for the courtesy runner, I believe. Gertie makes sure everybody's set, takes a look at her wristband. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball one. That one's low. Had a tough time when I first started trying to transition from doing baseball broadcast to softball, and I would say she's on the mound, and Papa would say she's in the circle. A baseball pitcher's on the mound, but there is no buildup in the pitching circle for softball. Gertie gets behind in the count this time, 2-0. Here's the pitch. That one's pop-up that was called by Yetzer. She didn't make the play. And they throw out the runner at trying to go from second to third, though. So got lucky on that one. Leadoff runner is out on a 7-5 put out for out number one. Put Karpin on first base. I have to score that in air.
I would too.
E6. And that will bring up Curtis. Curtis hits it to short. Nice play by Yetzer. Gets it over to Sid Minio for the force out. 6-4 on the put out for out number two. And Curtis down at first base on the fielder's choice.
Nice play by Allison there after she kind of misplayed that fly ball. Nice backhand.
Yeah.
And immediately knew where to go with it there. I wasn't sure if she was going to go to second or over to first.
Yeah, good reaction by Sid Minio, too, to be there in plenty of time for Allison to throw it over. Rachel Motes stopped that one, and the runner thought about going until she saw the cannon come out from behind the plate there. Rachel Motes can throw as hard from her knees as most catchers do from standing. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Lady Beavers doing a good job here. They had a leadoff double and held her so far. There's a bunt down third base line. Up with it is Ava Taylor. Fires the first in time for out number three. Played it perfect. 5-3 on the put out for out number three, and that'll do it for Meadville in the third inning. There were no runs. There was one hit, one error, and one left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Our score now remains 6-2 in favor of the Lady Beavers. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to flip that whole thing over.
making a good mud pit here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it didn't take long. I noticed that earlier. I'm kind of stomping my cord into the mud.
Yeah, me too. I forgot about that. I should have brought a rag or something to kind of clean this up, but
We'll have to put some wipes in the bag or something. Clean the equipment with.
hopefully it'll dry out sooner than later. Although under here it doesn't totally dry out at where we're at here on this side.
No, about the 4th of July, and then it starts getting wet again about September.
Be nice if Corry could get a few more on the board here in this third. Maybe close this game out early.
Yes. Like to see him bat around here again. Leading things off will be Allison Yetzer. Should be followed by Reagan Kemp and Rachel Motes.
Yeah, it'd
hopefully
be nice,
a host of other
nice to
lady
get
viewers.
3 this inning even and maybe 3 the next, and kind of put it away.
Right. Keitlinger fires the first pitch to Yetzer. Called strike 1. Next pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away here in the bottom of the third. And Reagan Kemp comes to the plate. Reagan had a line drive right at the second baseman in the first. Takes first pitch outside, ball 1. Next pitch. Called strike 1 on the inside part of the plate. 1-1 to count. Keitlinger wheels and deals. That one's up high and away. 2-1. Pitch. That one's fouled off. Count even at 2-2. Two pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. 2 up and 2 down, both via the strikeout. And that will bring up Rachel Motes. Rachel had a single and scored back in the first inning. She hits that one, a little blooper to short, and that's out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning as the Lady Beavers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played 3 complete here at Corry High School. Our score, Corry 6, Meadville 2. That last out was recorded as a F6 fly out to shortstop for all you people who like to keep score at home. Both of you. Just wouldn't be right. I may as well do it the first game of the year. It wouldn't be right if I didn't throw out I call it a Popoism. Here's a partial score. Fairview 3, Fort LaBeouf. That one's for you, Papa. Hope you're listening. So Meadville is going to be batting in the top of the 4th inning, trailing the Lady Beavers by a score of 6-2. And Meadville will be sending up their 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Stanford, Chap, and Pierce. Sounds like a law firm.
In the rush to get this all set up, I realized I picked up that other headset that has some electrical tape on the wire, and I could hear some
Little static.
feedback there. Now it's gone. So
Okay, well, here we go as Stanford steps in. Takes first pitch for a ball. Gertie checking the wristband. I may as well just quit saying she checks the wristband every pitch, I think, doesn't she?
yeah, I do. No more signs. Even Major League. I'm watching the World Baseball Classic. They got all the pitch comms now and everything. I feel like that takes away a little bit from it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not a fan of change much, anyways. Old-fashioned, I guess. Now, I was reading something about them, like a virtual umpire.
Yeah. Now they can challenge, balls and strikes.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's the worst thing they could ever do. Well, maybe not the worst, but one of the worst things they could do. Big swing and a miss. Strikeout again for Gertie, and she's gotten locked right in here, John. Throwing the ball well. 1 away in the 4th. Chap's going to come to the plate. Chap flew out to left field in the 1st inning. Takes that one outside. Gertie fires the next pitch, way up high. Very, very slow-paced high school softball game today. There's a shot to to right center field. And Mara Goodbull tracks that one down. F8, 2 away here in the 4th. Sophie Pierce, the designated player, comes to the plate. She struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. Big swing and a miss from Pierce. Here's Gertie's pitch. That one's fouled off. 0-2 the count quickly here. Gertie moves up to the pitching rubber. And there's strike 3. That'll do it for Meadville in the 4th inning. As they go down in order again, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's still Corry 6, Meadville 2. And this is a dangerous place to be. Not only do you have to watch out for foul balls, John, you got to watch out for people playing catch and wild throws.
I'd like to give a quick little shout out to Brian Silvis from Channel 98.9. He had this exact piece of equipment that we were using when we were doing the dual, coverage of football with the radio station there. I really love that. This box here was doing about the same thing we had 3 boxes doing. So I really wanted to get one of these, especially for spring sports, because I don't want to have all that stuff.
Right.
Football is one thing. You can be like ESPN up there and sprawl out everywhere and, have all your stuff. Basketball, too, we're kind of just set up there, all season. Nice little compact here when we're just setting up and tearing down for baseball and softball and track. We're going to do 4 track meets this year, too. So shout out to Brian for introducing me to that little mixer there.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian's, he's the pretty technical.
Yeah.
Does a great job, and I just spoke with him this morning, as a matter of fact. He was asking when we were going to get going with the games, and so maybe Brian's tuned in for tonight's game. Tuned into the game. Here we go. Keitlinger's pitch, called a strike. This is Braylon Gertie. She leads things off. She'll be followed by Molly Irwin, and top of the order, Sydney Minio. Next pitch down low. 1-1 to count. I don't know if she got a piece of that or not, but it went back off the backstop. 1-2 the count. Next pitch is low and inside.
If you got a clothing order, make sure that you stop by the concession stand and pick it up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of 4. Corry leads 6-2. That one goes high. Count goes full. Gertie steps back in. Keitlinger fires the payoff pitch. That one's fouled off. We'll do it again. Good job of Gertie of fighting that one off. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left field. That one is in the gap, and it's going to drop. And Gertie's going to pull into second base with a double. So good piece of batting right there. She fought the count to 3-2 and then rips a double. And you can tell, John, that those fly balls are just a nightmare for these outfielders today. It'll bring up Molly Irwin. Molly had a single, drove in a run last at bat in the first inning. Takes the first pitch. Look to be outside, ball 1. Keitlinger fires the next pitch, low, ball 2. 2-0 the count to right fielder Molly Irwin. There's a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2-1 now. Two-one pitch. Up high, ball 3. Keitlinger takes a walk to the back of the circle. Now makes her way back to the rubber. 3-1 pitch. Pop foul out of play. Count goes full, 3-2. Sent that one out to the tennis court. So another payoff pitch from Keitlinger here. Three-two pitch. It's hit down the third base line, and Molly Irwin beats it out for a single. His pitcher made a clean play, but Molly goes halfway down to second and tried to draw a throw, but she just takes second uncontested as they didn't want to jeopardize the run over at third. Gertie. So give Molly Irwin a single. She moves to second, uncontested stolen base there. And runners are now at second and third. Nobody out. Top of the order, Sydney Mineo. She takes the first pitch, called strike one. Sydney had a single and scored back in the first inning and then popped up to third base in the second inning. Keitlinger fires the 0-1. That one's fouled back out of play, 0-2. Jazzy Bridgham in the on-deck circle for Corry. O2 pitch in the dirt. Here comes a runner from third, Gertie. She's safe. Was that Gertie or did we have a... No, that was Gertie. I was going to say, did we have a courtesy runner?
No, we did not.
Okay. So Braylon Gertie comes in with the 7th Corry run. Molly Irwin moves over to third on the play. 7-2. Lady Beavers leading. Sydney Mineo steps back in. Keitlinger. Taking her time. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off. Good job of battling at the plate by Sydney Mineo. Keitlinger fires the next pitch up high and away. Makes the count 2-2. One run is scored here in the fourth to make it 7-2. Lady Beavers lead. We have another runner at third. That's Molly Irwin. And that ball is fouled out into the football field area. 2-2 pitch once again from Keitlinger to Mineo. That one's ripped to short, and the shortstop saw the runner going from third to home and misplayed the ball. So Molly Irwin scores from third to make it 8-2, and Sydney Mineo goes down to first base on the E6. And that'll bring up Jazzy Bridgham. Jazzy struck out in the first inning, singled in the second. She takes the first pitch up high, ball one. Throw down to first, gets by the first baseman. And running hard is Sydney Mineo. She goes all the way to third base. Lady Beavers trying to break things open here, John. Bridgham digs back in. Hits a little foul ball off the, it was fair ball, I guess, off the end of the bat to the third baseman for an 5 for out number 1. And that'll bring up Myra Goodbull. Keitlinger fires the pitch, and there's a shot off the glove of the second baseman. Mara Goodwill running hard all the way. Got a big lead now. She takes off, and she's safe. Good hustle by Mara Goodwill. Sydney Mineo scores on the play. It's now 9-2 in favor of the Lady Beavers. And they're doing what you said, John. Score about 3 and then, 3 more and end
I'll
it by
take
the
these
10-run
three
rule
here,
in the
yeah.
5th.
I'd take the other 3 now, too.
Yeah. There's the pop up to short. Play is made. Out number 2. F2 on the put out. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. This is Yetzer. Allie hit a double and scored in the first inning and then struck out in the 3rd. That one's up high. Look at the lead Goodwill's getting over there. She's almost even with the shortstop.
Yeah, she's got the speed.
She does. She's a hustler, that's for sure. That one's low. Allison Yetzer steps back in. 2-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. That ball's hit down to shortstop. Shortstop fires across in time for out number 3. 6-3 on the putout. That'll do it for the Lady Beavers in the 4th inning, but not before. They push across 3 more runs. They did so on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 left on base. We've now played 4 complete innings here at the Corry High School. Our score, the Corry Lady Beavers, 9. The Lady Bulldogs of Meadville, 2. So we will be, as John said earlier, we'll be down to Columbus tomorrow for the boys' baseball game. Looks like the weather's going to allow us to do the game, I believe, too.
Yeah, I haven't really checked the weather this week. I was kind of surprised this game happened. I wasn't sure. I thought there was kind of a cold temperature cutoff, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was.
I was asking Kevin Williams about that last night at the bowling alley, as a matter of fact, and I said, is there a certain temperature that has to be? And he said they don't like to play anything if they can help it under 36 degrees.
Okay. So we were just above that when
Yeah.
the game started. I don't know where it's at now, but
Gertie's first pitch is in there, strike 1, and it's Redding leading things off for Meadville. She's the 9th batter, and top of the order will follow her. Next pitch is inside. Makes count 1-1. It's tough for our baseball and softball teams to get a chance to get outside much in practice, and that makes it tough for pitchers for both sports. Next pitch up high.
yeah,
Although,
I mean, I can remember seasons with the younger guys. We didn't touch the field until the first game. You know, you're trying to practice in a parking lot or in a gym, or you don't practice at all.
right? Yeah, there's definitely limited space. You have all the, girls and boys track teams and all kinds of stuff going on. Gertie toes the rubber. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got her chasing some high stuff there. 2-2 now the count. We are in the top of the 5th inning. Lady Beavers lead 9-2. There's a foul ball.
Bit of a slow first inning there, but we kind of picked up the speed here, getting close to about 5:30 now, so we're about almost an hour and a half into it.
Yep, usually these games are right around an hour and a half. It's kind of understanding the very first game of the year taking a little bit longer. Here's a big swing and a miss, strike 3. Gertie gets another strikeout. I'll have to take a tally here and see how many she has for the game. One away here in the 5th inning. So that's 6 strikeouts in 5 innings for Gertie. That'll bring up the top of the order. Kregel. And Kregel's the shortstop. She's played a pretty decent ball game today. She started the game off with a single at the very first pitch of the game. Came around and scored the first of 2 runs for Meadville today. There's a foul ball back out of play. Count goes to 1-1. I'd like to thank Aaron Passenger and everybody at the Journal for all they do and helping us to be able to do these live streams. Derek Yatsko is our man on the camera today, doing a great job.
He'll be with us this season for softball and track, and we'll have Silas Bryant with us for baseball games.
Good deal. There's a ball hit to short. That one actually gets by Allie Etzer out into left field. So good hit by Kregel. She starts things off for the Lady Bulldogs with a single here in inning number 5. 1 away, runner at first, and that will bring up the pitcher, Lila Keitlinger. Gertie fires the first pitch low, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Top of the 5th. 9-2, Lady Beavers lead. Ball hammered foul out of play. Count goes to 1-2. One-two pitch. It's hit out into right field. Base hit. Keeps the Lady Bulldogs mini rally going here. Back-to-back singles. Runners now at first and second with 1 away, and that'll bring up the catcher, Carpin. Carpin had a double and then reached on a fielder's choice. Gertie fires the first pitch. Called strike 1. The ball is 1 strike. That one's fouled back off the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off, out of play. Gertie fires that one in. That one's popped up. Foul, out of play. Gertie's throwing strikes, and Carpin is fouling them off. Here's the next pitch. That one sails up high. Count goes to 1-2. Gertie fires the next one in. That one's skied to the infield. And Yetzer calls for it, makes the catch at shortstop for out number 2. F6.
Pretty sure that was an infield fly anyway.
Right? That'll bring up the first baseman, Grace Curtis. Curtis had a single back in the first and reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Strike one called. Still have runners at first and second. 2 outs now. As I mentioned, we're in the top of the 5th inning. Lady Beavers leading 9-2. Strike 2 called. Gertie getting ahead in the count again. Curtis steps back into the batter's box. Gertie wasting no time now. Fires that one up high. 1-2 now the count. One-two pitch. That one's hit to left field. Jazzy Bridgham underneath it makes the catch for out number 3. So the Lady Bulldogs threaten but do not score. There were no runs. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Our score, Corry 9, Meadville 2.
Gertie did a good job there to get out of that inning.
Yes, she's pitching a very good game, I believe. I didn't look to see how many hits Meadville has so far. They have 7 hits on the day. So over 5 innings, that's pretty good. And they started off the first inning with 4, so Gertie really settled in. And Corry so far has 11 hits already and 4 at-bats, John. So that's nice to see, especially first game of the year.
Yeah.
Keitlinger finishes her warm-up tosses, and we're ready for action here at the bottom of the 5th inning for Corry. We're going to see Reagan Kemp, Rachel Motes, Braylon Gertie, and hopefully a host of other Lady Beavers until we get 3 more runs, right?
Yeah, I'd like to get 3 quick ones here. Heads
Foul
up.
ball caught by the spectator. No balls, 1 strike to count. Keitlinger to Kemp. High and outside. 1-1 to count. Here's the pitch. That one's popped foul over here by us. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's another foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Reagan Kemp gets set again in the batter's box. Keitlinger fires it, and Reagan fouls it off again.
Gonna run out of softballs in this game.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Good at bat here by Reagan as she is making Miss Keitlinger work out there in the circle. There's a slow roller down third base line. Third baseman up with it. Fires across. In time. So 5-3 on the putout. Gets Reagan Kemp for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 away, and that'll bring up Trisha Motes, the catcher. Trisha had a single and scored in the 1st, and then popped up the shortstop in the 3rd. 1 for 2 on the day. There's a ball hit right to the shortstop again.
You really confused me on that one. You said Trisha Moch.
Oh, Rachel Mote.
Who's Trisha Moch?
Her sister.
Okay.
Oops. Right church, wrong pew.
I was like, I don't think that was her name.
Okay. Sorry. Braylon Gertie steps in.
Well, I mean, I call everybody Tyler, so, you know.
Yeah, that's true. See, I learned it from you.
Right.
Gertie fouls it back out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Next pitch up high. One and 1 to count. 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one's popped up. Pitcher calls everybody off and makes the catch for out number 3. Lady Beavers go down in the 5th inning. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We played 5 complete here at Corry High School. Our score, Corry 9, Meadville 2. And it's not getting any warmer.
No.
Breeze is picking up a little bit.
Every once in a while that breeze has to just linger on, and if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be too awful.
Right.
Got a lot of fans wrapped up in blankets. One in a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. That bubble's not a bad idea right now, is it?
Most of them, whether they're home or away, or on the first or third base side, or along the outfield there where the sun is.
Sorry for the noise, but just kind of getting a little warmer myself.
Still only have 2 coats by the girls. I'm surprised by that. But they're when you're winning, you're warmer, right?
That's right. Yeah. Here we go as Gertie finishes her warm-up tosses. She'll be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Meadville: Shoemaker, Stanford, and Chap. First pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike to count. Gertie fires the next pitch. That one's fouled. It looked like a foul ball. It actually went to Reagan Kemp, who flips it over to Sydney Minio, covering first base for out number 1. 3-4 on the putout.
Seeing the Corry Lady Beavers doing a lot of good fundamental things today, covering the bases, when they need to.
Right. Saw an article in the Corry Journal, and they've had a chat with Allison Williams, our head coach, and she said that she liked the spirit of the kids and their hard work and dedication so far. So, and they definitely look like they've been practicing hard, playing a good ball game today. Here's the pitch from Gertie. That one's hit right to Megan Kemp. She fields it, touches the base, 3 unassisted. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, from the looks of it, Corry comes out with a win today. I would imagine Coach would be happy with this performance. Not really any mistakes that I can think of. Really did a good job. Like I said, good fundamental. Hit the ball well. Pitched really well today.
That one's high and outside.
I think they took good advantage of when they had runners on base and got them in, didn't leave runners stranded.
Right. Chap is the batter for Meadville. She hits that one to left field. Jazzy Bridgham makes the catch on the run. 1-2-3 inning for Meadville in the 6th. F7 for that put out. And another 1-2-3 inning. Score remains 9-2. We need those Lady Beavers to score 3 runs right here for us. We'll end the ball game via the 10-run rule. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Derek's going, when I get home, I'm going to throw extra clothes in my dad's car.
No, because I already told him, I said make sure I see him going out of the house, with these slides on that he has on now. You might want to bring some sneakers because my feet, I can't feel them already. So I can only imagine, how his feet feel. But
Right.
I did see him take sneakers, but he said he left them in the car. I said, you sure you don't want to go over there and get them before the game starts? No, he'll be fine.
I put the work boots on, so my feet are okay. Even with gloves on, my fingers are a little numb.
Well, yeah, because we're just standing around, kind of.
Right.
That's why I said if I would have brought a chair, I'd be frozen by now.
Mm-hmm. Due up for the Lady Beavers here in the bottom of the 6th inning will be 9th hitter Molly Irwin, followed by the top of the order, Sydney Minio, and then Jazzy Bridgham. There's a ball hit right up the middle by Molly Irwin. 3 for 3 on the day for our 9th hitter.
This inning started to get those 3 runs we need to finish this game out.
So Molly Irwin leads it off with a single. And here comes Sydney Minio. Minio takes it low. Ball gets by the catcher. Molly Irwin down to second base. Minio digs back in. Keitlinger. Taking a long time here. Now she's ready. Fires that one low, gets by the catcher, and down to third goes Molly Irwin. If somebody read my scorebook, they'd probably not have a clue unless you're really into scorebooks. I have the WP for the wild pitch, the PB for the pass ball, all that kind of jazz. I've actually, when I first learned how to keep a scorebook and started keeping the scorebook, I was 11 years old. Kept the scorebook for my brother's softball team. Never, at that time, not having a clue that I'd be doing some broadcasts, someday in my life. And I've been doing that for quite a while. Here's a foul ball.
Yeah, when I was younger, I had a younger brother, so I was probably a teenager, and I either kept their book or I would hand collate all the statistics out of it.
Wow.
The batting averages, and that's back in the day when you're young and
Oh yeah.
you're bored. You didn't have the things they have now.
There's a fly ball down the left field line. That one gets by the left fielder. Molly Irwin comes
Gonna go
around
all
to
the way
score.
on this one.
Sydney Minio at third base with a stand-up triple.
Surprised they held her up there.
Yeah, that was a shot there, and left fielder made a valiant effort out there. I mean, she ran hard, but the ball got by her. So Sydney Minio triples to drive in Molly Irwin with the 10th run for the Lady Beavers. And stepping to the plate is Jazzy Bridgham, who represents the winning run, actually the game-ending run. Takes first pitch for a ball. Ten to 2, Lady Beavers. Big swing and a miss by Jazzy. 1-1 the count. Keitlinger fires the 1-1. That one sails high. Count goes to 2-1. That one's in the dirt, 3-1, and here comes Minio from third to make it an 11-2 ball game. Lady Beavers 1 run away from ending this via the 10-run rule.
She's another one with some great speed. She was about 3/4 of the way there before they even had a chance to get the ball at the backstop.
Here's the pitch to Bridgham. And she hits it. Oh, nice play by the second baseman. Give her an L4 for out number 1 here. That'll bring up Mara Goodwill. Be nice to see Mara get into one and end it on a walk-off homer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the pitch from Keitlinger.
There we
Here's
go.
a shot to right field, and that one is gone. And we asked for it, and we got it. Mara Goodwill takes it the opposite direction and rips a walk-off solo home run to end the game via the 10-run rule. Lady Beavers win 12-2. What a ball game. Great effort all the way around. I mean, I thought that Gertie did a fantastic job in the circle today, John. Defense, as you mentioned, the little things that you don't see in a scorebook, like the heads-up base running, the defensive effort by the Lady Beavers with the backing each other up, being at the right place at the right time, just the chatter amongst each other, just a great all-around team win. Excuse me, team win on opening day here for the Lady Beavers.
Yeah. Basically, exactly what you said. I think everybody did their jobs today at the plate and in the field. I don't think Coach could have too much to say about this game. Great way to start the season. And they'll be looking forward to. They're going to go to General McLean tomorrow, or actually it's going to be home here. General McLean tomorrow is going to be a scrimmage, and then they will be back on Thursday against the Girard Yellow Jackets.
Nice. So 14 hits by the Lady Beavers today.
And I would imagine that's through a number of different batters.
Yes. Yeah, they spread things around really well. Molly Irwin had 3 hits, I know. I think she led the Lady Beavers with 3 hits. And Gertie held Meadville to 7 hits for the game. They had 4 in the first inning.
Right.
So she really settled in, did a really nice job. Just like I said, hats off to Lady Beavers on it. Very much a team victory today. Well, I know we don't want to stand out here too much longer, so that's going to do it for our broadcast today. There is, I believe, a JV game if you want to come down and watch. But for John Yatsko and Derek Yatsko, this is Brad Swanson saying tune in tomorrow, 4:30, Columbus Field, the ballpark at Columbus, for boys baseball. Have a great night.